Hey, it's Rick from 28 millimeter RPG, and here we have Uriah from Uriah Granted Wards. Is that the
How's
full
it
name of your
going?
channel?
Yeah, it's just my full name, Uriah Edwards. It's me. It's all me.
Cool. Okay. I'll find out for you the link, and I'll go ahead and put that into the description here once we're done. And for those watching this, we're going to be doing a little bit of 4D practice. So just to let people know how much experience do you have in trying this out so far from what you've garnished so far?
Sure. Yeah. So I've been keeping up with the 4D thing for a couple months now. It was actually right around the time that we lost Shauner. This is when I really kind of started to get into it. As far as implementing it into my own games at my own table, it's been sporadically here and there. I've tried a couple things with my more 1D, 2D friends, to varying degrees of success. But it's definitely been a good time. It's been a lot of fun trying something new and
Cool.
exploring that new
So,
realm,
so
so to
you
speak.
you you have been implementing your 4D ness or your 3D or 4D ness during their game sessions. How has that been working out for you?
It's it's been interesting. So our DM at my fifth edition group is not, he's not hip to the whole 4D thing. So when I describe an action that I would normally ask a question for, there is sort of a pause there, and I kind of have to reiterate what it is I'm wanting to do. Um, there's some hiccups here and there, but I think they're slowly getting what I'm kind of going for. And
Yeah.
I told them about this practice session that I was having, and I'm like, this is what I'm hoping to do with us. Like, this would be so cool to do with us.
Cool.
But yeah, we
Well,
had a session this past Saturday that I 4D'd a couple things, and it was very entertaining. It was kind of a good break from what we're usually used to.
cool. Alrighty. So let's figure out what we're gonna do for our idea for session zero, I guess we'll call it. I'm gonna
Sure.
go with traditional 2d6. Okay. The
Got one right
traditional
here.
rules to these is basically anything uh, 8 or higher in a complex situation. It'd be basically a 6 or higher that you need as a base roll for a success. If you
Okay.
succeed really well, keep that in your head because you will be describing everything that you do as far
Mhm.
as your character motions, movements, the damage you take. You are in control of that. So
Mhm.
if you see a massive roll of damage come at you, or we're gonna call it hits. Okay, we'll call it
Sure.
hits. Okay,
That works.
so let's give your character basically 5 hits. Okay,
Okay.
sounds like, well, we're going cinematic here. 5 hits.
Right. Right.
That'll unconscious your character. If it's a really good hit, you consider that
Mhm.
2 hits taken off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the same thing with my minions, peons, that sort of stuff will be 1 hit wonders. You can kill them right away, like stormtroopers, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Anything like a henchman will take, a couple of hits, before, you
Gotcha.
know, and then the big whoever the Kahuna that but we'll never get there because I'm just laying out how these rules kind of go. So
Right.
if anybody wants to
Gotcha.
do kind of a quick skirmish kind of thing and figure things out, just roll 2d6. It's got the bell curve in there, which is
Yeah,
important
buddy.
because your probabilities go up. So
Mhm.
anything that you feel that your character is super skilled in, add 3. Okay. If
Okay.
you are not skilled in it at all, you don't feel that your character would be skilled in whatever that is, -3. Okay.
Gotcha.
An absolute 0 means that you're trained. So we're basically going with kind of traveler-esque kind of
Okay.
rules for traveler, but a little bit more simpler. So, and I don't care how it is that you write down your character. What kind of character are you going to make, and what kind of scenario are we going to create?
Sure. So I was hoping we could do something a little bit more along the lines of kind of sci-fi, a little bit more cyberpunk, if
Okay.
you're cool with that. Um, I have this idea for a character that is a former soldier, kind of in his later years, getting up there in age, kind of that late 40s, mid to late 40s.
Okay.
But he was a soldier in his younger years. And I have this idea that he was caught in an ambush and had his legs blown off. And that ambush took out his whole squad. So when he got brought back stateside, he got a handshake from the president. And they slapped a couple medals in his hand. And he would go on to write a book about his experiences, sort of hamming up the details, making a whole buttload of money. And as like an extra thank you, the president said, "Hey, we're going to give you these first of its kind commercial grade cybernetic augmentations to replace your legs that got blown off." That sort of thing.
Okay. Cool.
Only to find out a couple years later, he's a fraud. He lied about the whole thing. He got his legs blown off in an accident, but the only reason he survived is because he was running away. He abandoned his team. So now his money's all been squandered. He's kind of living in sort of this podunk, apartment, and he's kind of scrapping together whatever living he can as sort of like a muscle for hire, that sort of thing. I think something like that would be kind of cool.
Okay.
I think something like that.
So you're going to be basically really good at like the combat-y kind of things, like the traditional,
sure.
Armed
kind of
forces kind of combat,
that sort of thing.
Okay. And how long has it been since you've been in the service?
So since the scandal was revealed, it's been about 20 years. So he was a young soldier, had his 15 minutes of fame, so to speak, and then it's many several decades removed from that initial thing. So now he's in his early or late 40s, that sort of thing.
Okay. So basically now with scrapping that kind of stuff, trying to work his way up as a thug in the in the local areas. Okay. I know a little bit about cyberpunk, but not like a whole lot. So I'm not going to really get into any kind of lore kind of stuff or anything.
Honestly, I don't either.
Okay.
I really, I'm not so much interested in the glitz and the glam and the neon. I'm more interested in the grit and the grime, the more of the modern take on it. I see my guy as working for this, sort of mob boss type of guy who may have like an ironic nickname, like he's this big burly guy, but everybody calls him Honey or something. Something like that, where he's sort of beholden to this one person, so to speak.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm just coming up with some kind of concepts and ideas and stuff here. Alrighty. Okay. So your current location right now?
I think it would be cool to start in like the late morning, just me and me waking up in the morning in my bed. something like that.
Okay.
Kind of getting the day started, and then me going to
Okay. Alrighty. So, outside the creak of your mailbox, and it slams. Footsteps wander away from your abode.
my eyes creak awake. I look over to my alarm clock that's just about to go off, and before the horrendous sound can violate my ears, I switch the ringer off. I sit up in my bed. The stale smell of cigarette smoke sort of still lingering in the air. I look around, see my wheelchair, and I notice one of my legs is missing. I hear a noise in the other room, and I hear my roommate Mitch tinkering with some toys, with some tools. Grab a cigarette, put it in my mouth, and take a hit.
You hear the ears split from the kitchen area.
Mitch, what are you doing?
Oh, you awake? You awake? Oh, sorry about that, man. I'll sweep it. I'll open a window. You want some eggs, bacon?
Jeez. I reach over to the wheelchair I have next to my bed, and I pop myself in and begin to wheel myself down the hall into the kitchen, waving the smoke of whatever just died.
Tap, 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 chink, 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 chink. Hey, you look a little bit rough on the gills there, bro.
I mean, yeah, I just got awoken to whatever that. Are you putting? Is that an AI that you're putting in the toaster?
What?
Man.
He
Okay.
moves over and checks the toaster.
What do you have my leg? And I bump into the fridge.
I think it's on the porch, man.
You have to stop tinkering on the porch. I swear, one of these days, one of your expensive tools is going to get taken.
Sorry, man. I got to work on stuff, constantly. It's that PTSD thing that, I just got to do it. And the ADHD.
I know, man. Yeah. Whatever. I wheel around the couch to the front door, and I open it up. Carefully get across the door jamb and grab the leg and set it on my lap as I wheel back in. Shut the door.
The glint from your mailbox. A letter is poking out from it.
Mitch, did you get the mail? As I put on one leg and I put on the other, I feel the cybernetic connectors sinking into my skin, and it hurts as I stand up from the wheelchair, stretching. I'll get it. I walk over to the mailbox, open it up, pull out the letter.
Letter has urgent final notice.
Bill. Letter from Bill. Shut it and turn back around and kind of looking around at the disarray of the lawn. Later, I walk back inside. I take out this urgent notice as Mitch has set a bowl of burnt eggs in front of me. Thanks, buddy.
Cajun
Plop
style,
down and
as always.
you're not even from Louisiana. Never mind. Start to eat, and I take out this urgent notice.
Another letter mentioning the recuperation of funds. They are confiscating your legs within the next 3 days.
Jeez. I flip through the pages and look at the total owed. I see. How in the world am I going to get $3,000 in 3 days? Jeez. I close it, I slam it, and I say, I got to make a phone call. I stand up and I walk over to the phone.
Mitch is humming and washing dishes.
Pick up the phone. I dial Honey's number. Phone rings.
Yes.
Hey, Darla. Hey, Darla. Is Honey there?
Honey? Who is this? Oh, wait a second. It's on the display here. Oh, you.
Yeah, it's me. It's Frank.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. A moment, please. Click, click. Click, click. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Honey. It's Frank. It's Frank Hyde. Hey, I'm kind of in a tight spot. I was hoping you could hook me up with a job, something big and something fast.
Something big and something fast. Frankie, there's different ways to get through this. We have our means and methods. You have to work your way up the ranks.
I know. I just need something to get me. Listen, I kind of turn off.
Okay. You got a set of wheels. You got a set of wheels. I mean, not your wheels, but a set of wheels, like transportation.
I look back at Mitch. Yes, I have a motorbike that I can use.
Okay. All right. So, here's the address. We need to collect $500 smackaroonies off of this guy, Antonio Silva.
All right. I pull out a pen from my pocket and just write it on my arm.
And his address is 2606 floor 59, Geronimo Lane.
Geronimo Lane. I finish writing it on my arm. All right, 500 smackaroonies.
All right, it's crucial we get this done as soon as possible. Miko's waiting for this collection, so if you could kindly drop it off at Miko's laundromat. All righty?
Consider it done.
All right.
Thanks, honey.
Don't want to hear from you until it's done. Goodbye.
Roger that.
Click.
Mitch, hey man, the eggs were fantastic. Listen, buddy.
He pulls out an earbud. He's like, a what?
I walk up towards him and I say, is there any way that I can use your bike for 10 minutes?
Oh yeah, sure, man. And if you're on your way past the grocery, definitely get me a dozen eggs. Okay, here's what is it now? $30? Here's $30, man.
Okay, dozen
eggs. He
hands
you a handful of plastic cash.
I stuff it into my pocket, and I quickly bound into my room, throw on a pair of pants, I open up my closet and I grab my overcoat, throw that on, and I grab my pistol, the same pistol I used when I was in the service. Check the magazine. I gotta buy more ammo. 2 bullets left. That's not enough. Anyways, okay. Grab Mitch's keys and I bound out the door into the garage. Rev up the bike. Look at my wrist. Look at the address that I wrote down and make my way.
You hear behind you, "Don't forget to fill up the tank."
What? Zooming past.
Upon exiting the premises, a vehicle pulls out and starts following.
Okay, keep calm. Keep calm.
Black station wagon.
I look behind me, trying to get a clear view of the driver. Sunglasses.
Man in black.
Great. I'm driving along and I pass an alley on the left. And at the last minute, I rev the engine and I whip into the alley. It's a 9.
Awesome.
Narrowly missing the trash can. An old lady wets herself as I zoom past and enter into this alleyway.
The vehicle scorches past and loses contact on the road to a screeching halt past the alleyway.
I continue down, taking a winding path through this maze of buildings, and I slow down to a crawl. I poke my head out, looking both ways, making sure this vehicle isn't nearby.
Huge burst of traffic coming from both ways as there is an off-ramp going to the towards the city center.
Jeez. Seeing this sudden roadblock,
big bus.
I'm dumbfounded. Okay, don't wreck the bike. Whatever you do, don't wreck the bike. I turn along and I am riding along the sidewalk. I see a small opening and I try to careen my way in between this gap of cars to get back onto the road. That is 7.
No problem.
I fit in. I hear the blaring horn behind me and turn to see someone giving me the finger. Hey, your mother! And I zoom past, cutting in between traffic as I continue on to Mr. Silva's house.
The opposing vehicle, the gentleman in the vehicle looks back at you and goes ahead and throws you the bird as well.
I continue to zoom down the street, passing bystanders and such.
The vehicle comes closer and veers in front, attempting to cut you off. But suddenly, from behind, the black sedan pushes from behind and pushes the vehicle in a T pose on the road, causing a collision. And that vehicle, which your road rager starts turning and continuing trundling down the street.
This carnage and wreckage, I'm filled with terror, yet surprise and gratitude as I continue on. And I yelled at the people as I'm driving by, "Call the cops!" as I zoom along.
The sedan swerves in and attempts to try to overtake you. Roll for your driving skill.
11.
No problem. Car swerves.
I'm zooming. I'm trying to lose him. I'm trying to keep him off of my tail. I reach a hand into my waistband, and I pull out the pistol, and I reach behind me as I take aim and hope that he'll be dissuaded by this act of defiance.
The sedan swerves back and forth and then drives off into the other lane, does a quick U-turn, just narrowly hitting another vehicle, and then proceeds to go off in the opposite direction.
The gun goes back in my waistband, and I slow down and go into another alleyway. Who is this person? Who's trying to follow me? What is debt collector or something? I don't know. I take it slow and continue cruising through the alleyways, trying to create whatever distance I can.
The destination is a block away from your location.
I slowly wheel the bike, looking out of the alleyway one more time. I see the building ahead in the distance, a block away, and I rev it and go straight towards the building.
There is a ramp going in, internal garage. Also, the main building looks like a main entryway. A guard standing in front, outside of the building, glass. Inside, you can see the common area and the elevator within. Several plants. Nice, elegant looking.
I pull up under the overpass, in the awning. I hop off the bike. I toss the keys to the valet and say, "Take care of her. I'll be right back." I walk inside. I'm caught off guard by this magnificent visage before me of the opulent and decorative display, and I say, "Where is your?" I say to the person at the front desk, "Elevator. I need an elevator."
She motions her finger over towards the elevator doors.
Thank you very much. Way, sir. I walk over to the elevator, hit the button. I'm sort of waiting there, keeping an eye on my surroundings.
A woman in a yellow sequin dress, tight-fitting, comes towards you and awaits the elevator as well. She has a fur collar, a small little robo-dog in her hand as well, which peeks out every once in a while through the fur. She wears red high heels.
I look at her fabulous dress. I look down at myself, the tattered burlap coat, and sniff myself to make sure I'm not too offensive to the olfactory senses, and hit the button a couple more times, hopefully make it come quicker.
The elevator door opens.
I enter.
She
I enter inside
as well
and I say,
walks in as
coming
well.
up. Very well. And with a polite
floor
voice.
26, please.
Floor 26. Excellent. I'm looking at these numbers that I couldn't even count as high to. So I hit 26, and then I hit 59. And cross my arms.
And
so,
looking aloof.
From around here?
She kind of looks at you and she goes, no, not from here.
Gotcha. Well, it's a mighty fine place. Oh, is this your dog? And I reach out a hand to pet the robo dog, and
the robo dog starts to flare off, like alarms going off on it, splays out in a visual effect, and it's robotic, at you. She goes, please do not touch the dog. In fact, here is my stop. Ping! The elevator doors open.
Have a wonderful
she
day.
Kind of walks out in a huff away from you. The elevator doors start closing.
As the elevator continues up to the 59th floor, I again double check my weapon, making sure everything appears to be in working order. I hear the elevator
59th.
ding.
And it opens 59th.
I walk out and I look
hallway, left, right. Doors,
look at my number,
endless.
my arms. Look at the address on my arm, and look. And I walk in the direction of the number there. When I get to it,
the door down the hall opens, and a thug rolls out, holding his knuckles, cracking them. Black leathers, metal jaw. Really, narrow band, shades on. And he says, Foxy says you were on your way up here.
Yeah. Well, Foxy needs to learn to mind his own business. Mr. Silva, I presume.
No. Jocko, his bodyguard. Bring it.
Jocko. All right, buddy. One moment. Let me tie my shoe. And I kneel down and I press a button on one of my legs that activates like essentially combat mode. It gives me a little bit more speed. And I say, all right, you asked for it. And I rush towards him with an open fist, closed fist rather, and make a right hand to the face. That is 14, right? Yes, 14.
Okay. Successful hit. Boom. He shudders back. He plates pull apart on his shirt, showing that he's wearing an armored shirt. He's like, man, that cost me a mint, he says. And he goes ahead and hauls back at you. You hear also the ding of the elevator from behind you. His fist goes flying past and misses completely, throwing him off balance.
I duck down and come up with a small jab to the stomach and set up for a huge uppercut to the chin.
Roll.
Ooh. It's a 7.
The glancing blow makes him puff, and he rolls to the side to avoid your uppercut. He rolls past you, behind you from where you came, and you also see the girl coming out from the elevator. Hey, Foxy, it's about time you made it up here.
Dumbfounded at this revelation, I reach to my waistband and say, no, we're not doing this 2-on-1 thing. I'm just here for Silva's money. That's all I need, and I'll be on my way.
Roll for your persuasion.
It's an 8. 8 on the dice.
He backs off. He's like, hey, man. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to. And the girl, she stops and backs off a little bit, but she also starts stroking her dog.
Lady, I'm not the one. I'm just here for a job, and that's it. I begin to back towards the open door. Say, Antonio Silva, I'm coming in. You better have that 500 for me, buddy.
The girl lets go of the dog. The dog perks up and bolts straight towards you.
Both shots
It's
at
running
the dog.
on the floor. Roll.
Oh. That's 8. Barely.
The bullet ricochets off the floor. The dog keeps on coming towards you. The guy in front of you is like, run. You know, the bodyguard dives out of the way. The little machination starts coming at your ankle and starts going ding, 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 ding. You hear the teeth clink against your ankles.
I step back, sort of stutter step back to create some distance, and like Babe Ruth, I call my shot and say, "You better be a good catch," and I try to kick the dog away from me.
Roll.
That'll be 6.
Pelts the dog. Dog's rolling down in a trundle of clinks, clanks, and robotic barks, and it loops and starts inadvertently attacking the bodyguard's leg as well. And he starts yelping. The girl's freaking out now. The door is still not no response from the door of Antonio's.
Okay. I continue to bang on it, and when I get no response, okay, let's see what these puppies can do. I click another button that gives me just a little bit extra power on the kick, and I rear back and I try to kick down the door. The heel of my foot jams into the door, and it's stuck. It breaks through, but it's stuck, and I'm sitting there hobbling on one leg. What?
Shots ring out from behind the door. Kapow! And bullets come flying through 3 holes in front of you, but missing you. You don't know how.
My other leg goes out from under me, and I take a bump on my back, just out of pure instinct, hitting the deck. I clamber up to my feet and I say, "This was clearly a bad decision. I need to get out of here." I look around behind me. I see the fire stairwell, and I see the dog attacking the guy's leg. And I say, Antonio, I'll be back. You better have my money. And I bolt through the door and start booking it down the stairs.
We'll hold her there. I may have imposed that you don't know how those bullets missed you, but I was just trying to make it sound like it was super close. So
yeah.
Not to impose that you were feeling that, but to give you an idea of how close
I didn't take it that way. Yeah. It's almost the Pulp Fiction thing.
Yeah. So just something we just throw together here. So cool. Yeah, you kept pretty good with it. Always rewatch how you've done something, and you a lot of our people that go through training will go through it and do their own little critique of how they did and stuff like that. Feel free to do that yourself. I'm not telling you to do that, but it's cool to see, to hear other players' insight on how they did, because you're only playing through the what, like, you don't take in all the the interaction and everything. To reflect on it, it'll jog memory of what you did in certain things and stuff like that. So I find it really helpful I did I let you carry a lot of the narrative, which I thought was cool. You're really good at carrying the narrative, so I don't mind that. Some game masters will go ahead and say, I'd like to be able to do all the kind of initial transitions from point A to point B. Right. Some game masters will do that, and those are things you discuss during your session zeros, of course. Sure. I'm totally open and free when I'm doing training, because I want to hear how you would do something as a co-creative thing, and I think you did really good. I mean, that was awesome. Yeah. I couldn't ask for anything more from a training session. So that's cool. You held yourself in the eye, pretty darn good. That's one thing we key in on as players. You say, I do this, or I ponder, and whatever it is that you're going to do, and that's good. That's the way things should be. Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it. As far as I'm concerned, you could become one of our vetted, no problem. So, any chances that you could possibly get in on some of our games coming up, like for instance, my upcoming Monday one?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm actually getting involved with Phil and a couple others. I want to say
cool.
It'd be me, Phil, Adam, and Elf Hunter. There might be one more that I'm missing, but we're doing un-PC, so we're doing that on Wednesdays. So that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really excited to see, because kind of like you mentioned, the interaction, and kind of, I have a tendency to talk a lot. Like, sometimes people have to tell me to shut up just because I won't stop talking. So learning how to know when to cut it, know when to stop talking, so other people can take their turns. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of just basically watch how the rest of the players play, through how they're conducting themselves, and just keep your turn really short, consistent. All you really need to do is say your action, give some sort of anchoring, or telling you where you're moving, and the last thing, of course, is whatever you're going to say. Just say it would be what you would say in a 6-second kind of thing. So, and that's so simple, so easy. Don't try to complex it too much. If you see I would say if you see the other players indulging in adding to what's happening, and watch who the GM is, who see how they're reacting to it, and you can see the flow, and you can see what's being allowed, and continue in context with the other players. That's all advice I can give you, because every session is different, and every game master is different too. So some game masters may have more restrictive on co-creation. Some may give you it's going to be whatever you guys declare during the session 0. Just to put it out there for anybody watching, that's wondering what a 4D session and if they're all the same and stuff like. No, every game master has different things that they introduce or imply in the game. So I'm quite freeform with it. So
Right.
But when it comes to this is just a training session. What you can come up in your imagination from just our interaction, which was basically from when I recorded on, is what we came up with, and with no prep basically at all. Right. If I had time to prep, I'll have little prepped ideas for NPCs, a little bit more thicker, denser than what you're seeing here. My two-dimensional players that.
so the whole roommate thing, that was kind of made up on the fly,
Yeah.
The whole
you surprised me with that. Okay, who's this guy? Frankie. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Frankie. Okay, who's gonna be Frankie? He's gonna be like a Cheech and Chong, right? Yeah.
Cheech,
kind of a thing going here.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So we just think up whatever would suit the thing at the time, and we just make it up. And with a little bit more prep, of course, and it's not that much more prep that you actually do as a game master in a 4D game. You just it's so simple. It's crazy. I did mention I'm going to be putting out a book on how to game master in 4D. So
nice.
So that's coming up. So that's in the works
Is it going to be similar? Because I recall hearing, I want to say it was a stream.
Shauner was going to write one.
Yeah.
He was talking about
how to GM the hard way.
How to GM the hard way. So, but I had been working on how the things that I have encountered as a game master. Mm-hmm. Like going for I wasn't always this way with my game master.
Sure.
I was very controlling. I was pretty much the one that talked most of the time and directed everybody through my story, or I would try to keep the story loose so that it wasn't so I wasn't too bothered if they went off into their own direction. I was fairly confident that I could carry the game to a point at the end of the session to say, okay, now I need to prep a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
But now my whole philosophy in game mastering has totally switched around. So if anybody watches any of my stuff on YouTube, there's old videos of me playing in the 2D style. And then I gradually get into 3D about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I guess it's pretty close to now. So, but anyways, congrats. I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, you're cool. Sweet. Go ahead and get you into some games here as a vetted player, and carry on. But like I say, keep in mind, game masters will always be different. So make sure. In your session 0, you clarify how much co-creative ability do I have, because you don't want to step on a game master's toes as much as possible, but because game master's got to have some fun, right? I mean, anyways,
what is fun?
So I'm gonna conclude this recording, and that was cool. It was a fun little training session we did, and it's all good. All right,
awesome.